This is my guitar. Oh yeah, baby. I have had this for at least 8 years, going on 9. Could not play you a single song on this if my life depended on it. Couldn't play a single song on this if your life depended on it. Don't even know more than 3 chords. I think this might be a G. I'm not totally sure. This was several $100s and it just sits in my closet, unused and unloved. Raise your hand if you waste money. It's me, I waste money. I think we all do. We all buy things that we think we're gonna use or we wanna use, and then we never really do. The United States is the #1 plastic polluter in the world, and the average person in the United States produces 1,789 pounds of waste per year. It's so much stuff, y'all, and not only is it bad for the planet, but it's costing us money. Couple $100, completely gone to waste. Because let's face it, I'm not gonna learn how to play guitar. I'm just not. It's not in my wheelhouse right now. It's not in my desires right now. I'm not willing to put in the work. So this, waste of money. If you want to know why we're buying so much stuff and how we can stop wasting money on things we're never going to use, you're in the right place. I'm going to give you 3 strategies to stop wasting your money on stuff you'll never use. Make sure to hit like and subscribe and comment down below right now before we get to the rest of the video with the #1 thing you waste money on, because I have a feeling a lot of us are doing the same thing. My first tip for reducing waste is to reduce the noise. We live in a world that is buy, 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 now, now, now. We live in a very fast-paced, hyper-consumerist world, especially if you're living in the United States or some other Western country. And we are absolutely inundated with advertisements to buy things. The average person in 2021 saw between 6,000 and 10,000 ads per day. And I totally believe this. Each morning I wake up, I make myself a cup of tea, and then I do my Duolingo. Now, I use the free version of Duolingo, which means after every single lesson, I have to watch an ad. And I get it, like Duolingo's gotta make money somehow, but that means I start my day with at least 1 ad blaring me full in the face, like before my brain has even woken up. And it just continues from there. When I'm watching YouTube, I have ads, usually 2 or 3 between each video. If I turn on the TV, there's ads there, there's ads on the radio, there's billboards, there's ads on Instagram and Twitter. Ads are everywhere. We are literally being constantly bombarded by messages to buy things. The underlying message being that there's something wrong with us, and if we spend enough money, we can fix all of our problems. The pace of advertising today is frantic, and it's only picking up, and it's targeting younger and younger audiences. Kids are now making in-app purchases as young as 2 and 3 years old, sometimes to the tune of tens of thousands of dollars. So reducing the noise of advertising around us is one way to reduce our spending. You can reduce ads by paying for things such as Hulu without ads or YouTube Premium. Also, I just want to give a shout out to YouTube Premium. If you do pay for that, not only are you bypassing the ads, but you're also helping to support YouTube creators such as myself, because YouTube creators get a little bit more money from YouTube Premium accounts. I mean, I'm not monetized on YouTube yet, but I hope to be one day, and it would be great to be monetized on YouTube. So that's the goal. You can also choose to shop in person instead of online, because that way you're giving less information to those cookie trackers, meaning you will be targeted with fewer personalized ads. And in general, and I know this one's really, really hard, you can just spend less time on the internet. The internet has really become one giant ad, and God knows I spend all my time on the internet. But if you can avoid it, that means you will see fewer advertisements. Strategy 2 is to consider the how, where, and time of any purchase. The how, where, and time, I don't have a catchy phrase for it, but basically before you buy anything, I want you to consider, how will I use this? Do I have the time to use this? And where will this live in my house? Let's start with the where. Where are you going to put it? Like, I'm looking around my office right now and I got a lot of stuff in here. I don't have that much storage space in my house, and a lot of the kind of random stuff ends up in my office because of that reason. So looking around, like, there's a pile over here, I've got a pile over there, I've got a pile over there. I'm a pile person, I got a lot of piles. I really should not be bringing in any more stuff because I clearly don't have any place for it to live. Make this same consideration when it comes to the time of a purchase. If you want to buy a new video game, but you are already working full-time, you're a parent, and you're trying to learn Italian, do you actually have the time to dedicate to playing the new video game? Or is it just something that you think you want, or that you do want eventually, but now is not the right time? It's more than okay to admit that right now is not the right time for something. I'm currently learning Spanish. Like I mentioned before, I'm doing my Duolingo every morning. How many times have I tried to learn Spanish before this go around? At least 4. And in the past, I've done things like buy a 4-week class pass for a Spanish school here in town. I have bought several Spanish workbooks so I can do the exercises. I've joined free online conversation hours, and it never stuck. And that's because learning Spanish was not a priority for how I wanted to spend my time. I was busy doing other things. I was paying off my student loan debt. I was building my business. And I did not have the brain space or the actual hours in the day to devote to Spanish the way I do now. So I ended up spending all of this money, wasting all of this money on classes and tools that I never really used and that didn't move me closer to my goal. Now that my business is more stable and I have more time, I'm actually doing my Duolingo every day. I'm using a workbook that I recently purchased. I hired a Spanish tutor to take lessons with 3 times a week, and I'm actually enjoying it. It feels like a fun activity I get to do every day. My third strategy is to wait 5 days before buying. This is a common tip that you hear in the personal finance world, and the advice ranges from waiting 30 days before you buy something to 2 weeks before you buy something. I personally am a fan of the 5 days. Waiting before purchasing something is, in my personal opinion, one of the most radical acts that we can do today. Because we do live in such a hyper-consumerist world, and because there is so much pressure to buy, and because the default really is to buy, taking a step back and saying, you know what? I'm gonna wait a second. I'm gonna really process this and see if I really need it is really radical. In a fast-paced world, going slow is, whoo! The only other word I can think of is radical, it really is. Taking that time to consider, do I really need this? How am I going to use this? Where is it going to live? How much does this cost? That really goes against the mainstream narrative of buy now. And it's taking back a little bit of your power from these companies and from the society that just says, hey, there's something wrong with you, buy now to fix it. And I'll tell you, as someone who considers myself a shopping minimalist, it is such a breath of fresh air to take my time with a purchase. Almost every single time I've rushed into buying something, it has led to regret because it either wasn't exactly the thing that I wanted or needed, it didn't completely solve the issue I was having, or it was a cheaper version of something and it ended up breaking faster, or frankly, I just bought it because I thought I needed it, or I was feeling down and I was like, this will make me feel better, and it didn't actually end up solving my emotional issue. Rushing often leads to overspending, and it rarely leads to actually fixing the issue that we have in our lives. So take those 5 days, give yourself a breather, and then if after 5 days you're like, yeah, I still really want this, go ahead and get it. I'm curious, y'all, what are some tactics you use to spend less and to block out this insane noise that we have around spending in our world today? I'm always looking for new tips, so drop yours in the comments. Please give this video a like to boost us in the algorithm. We are a new channel, and any likes, any subscribes really go a long way to help us.